Good day everyone, my name is Ronat and I will be showing you how to learn C++ on your own. I will be doing it a bit differently as everyone else on the internet, but I will be going a bit into more detail. I'll be telling you what everything means, that you can't just copy it, you can actually understand it. So let's start. I'm going to put in a hashtag and I'm going to type in include, then open a pointy bracket and type in IOStream. What that basically means is I am going to tell the compiler that I want to use the input and output stream. I want to include that file or that set of rules into the program we are writing today, so that we can tell the compiler exactly what we're going to what we are going to do. We are going to include that set of rules so that we can comply with those rules during the program. Now I'm going to type in using namespace std, which is short for standard. So the using namespace std means that we will be showing it that we are using the standard namespace, that we are using the standard rules or the standard way of writing our program. But I'll come into more detail like that. Now I'm first going to be declaring our first main function. So I'm going to type in int main, open bracket, close bracket, press enter. Then I'm going to be opening up curly bracket, and these code blocks already put in the other curly bracket for me. Now we're inside our main function. Now we can write the code that the main function will be executing. So we can write in cout, which is short for console out, and we can write out inside our quotation marks, we can write out hello world, \n for new line. That means that from there everything else in the console will be outputted into a new line. Now we remember to put our trailing semicolon behind, because we know that C++ or the compiler is very pedantic about putting our semicolons at the end. So once we do that, now we need to tell the compiler that it needs to pause. I say that very loosely, but it needs to stop and wait for us to actually see what we have done. So now we can say sin.get. What this means is that we are telling the compiler to wait for the input or a keystroke, any keystroke, you can press any key, and then it must be able to close the computer. Not the computer, the actual program. So now we can say sin.get is where it actually stops, and it waits for us to press a key before it continues further. So sin.get is carrying on then. After that, we put our semicolon. Remember, semicolons are very important. And now we can actually compile this and see what it does. Let's have a look. Hello world. Cool. Now, if we press any key, the process returns 0, execution time 4 point whatever seconds. Press any key to continue. Press any key and it closes. That's where that first enter we pressed, that was when we said, okay, continue with the program. We are done with what we saw. Cool. That is when you want to put an intermission between two of your commands. You want to use it to first read, then press enter, then you can put in more commands. So I can put in here, console out, this is a tutorial for YouTube, exclamation mark, \, new line. Our trailing semicolon, now I can put in sin.get, semicolon, we compile it again, and C says hello world. Now it waits for us to give a keystroke again. We give a keystroke, this is a tutorial for YouTube. See, now that puts a intermission or a pause where we actually have to act before it continues the program. Cool. Now that is done, so let's go through it again. On the top we have the hashtag include input output stream. What that does is we are including the set of rules required for the input and the output stream. Then next we declare the namespace, which is the standard namespace. If we didn't declare this, we would have to put in front of all the console outs, we would have to put std : especially also the sin, std : we'd have to do that for everything, and that could just adds extra time. So you can just declare the standard immediately. You can declare the namespace, and then you don't have to put in all the standards later. So let me just delete this quickly. Cool. What we've done now is we've just showed you what that is for now. Let me just add it again. Using namespace std. Cool. Now that is done, so let's go through it again. We declared our main function. Our main function is main, and we added the curly brackets. Then inside the curly brackets, inside our function, we simply outputted hello world, and we put the \n for a new line. So it tells the compiler that from here on it's a new line going forward. Then we have sin.get, which tells the program that we are writing it needs to wait for and get the keystroke that we are giving it. So we are giving it the keystroke to say hold on before you display the next line. Before you display, this is a tutorial for YouTube, \new line. Sin.get means exactly the same. It pauses until we give another keystroke. I hope this makes sense, and please like if you learned something. Thank you very much.